Hey folks, this is Gabe at Security.org, and today I want to talk to you about Abode Home Security. Now, we're revisiting Abode because we actually did review their Gen 1 a few years ago. Had a good time and wanted to just kind of revisit it, see how it's doing because, different strokes for different folks. And, what's great about Abode is the fact that it's so flexible and works with so many different types of devices. And if you know anything about Security.org, we have a number of smart devices, smart gadgets, smart home elements all over the place. From East Coast to West Coast, we're putting them in. So without any further ado, let's dive into our review of Abode Home Security. So I want to talk briefly about what I have with my Abode system. I've got the Abode base station, I have the key fob, I have the keypad, I have various entry sensors, a motion sensor, and the Abode Cam 2. Now, installing your Abode Home Security system is pretty straightforward. You're going to start with your base station. With your base station, you're going to plug it in. I, of course, want to plug in your Ethernet cable, make sure it's connected, and then you're just going to go through each individual device and basically syncing it with your base station and then placing it physically where you need to put it. So for me, I put my keypad right when I walk inside the front door. I also put my entry sensors in various places. Of course, the most important for me in New York is my front door. And one thing to note is that you can add any number of these devices if necessary. So the motion sensor also I put up. Basically, you can be up and running literally within 15-20 minutes with Abode. It's really straightforward. And of course, that final piece for me was adding that Abode Cam 2, and I put that directly in my living room. Now let's talk about subscription plans with Abode Home Security. Now there are 3 options here. And the first option is no plan at all. Now, without a plan with Abode, you can view live video, you can basically self-monitor, control the system, you can take advantage of integrations, and you can receive push notifications. Now, you can also go, for example, with the standard plan, which is about $6 a month at this time of this video, or $60 a year. And with that, you get a lot. You get, timeline, you get person detection, things of that nature, but it's really that professional monitoring where you're gonna have a lot more, because with that, for $20 a month or $200 a year at the time of us making this video, you get the 24/7 professional monitoring and you get cellular backup, because this connects to, the internet, but if the internet goes out, well, yeah, exactly, nothing's gonna happen. So you get cellular backup with professional monitoring. All right, so let's dive into the security features of the Abode Home Security system. This is really important. This is what we're ultimately using our system for, is to keep us safe. And of course, that starts with arming and disarming your home security system. Now with Abode, you have a few different options. You can do it on the key fob. So you have a key fob that allows you to arm and disarm. You can do it on your phone, and you can even do it on the keypad. So you can note that there's all these different ways to arm and disarm. You can be home and doing it, you can be away and doing it, you can be upstairs, you can be downstairs with the key fob. There's just so many ways for one to make sure that, hey, I'm armed. And when it comes to notifications with Abode, they're really straightforward. You're gonna get basically a message directly onto the screen of your iPhone or your Android device or whatever you happen to use with your Abode system, and it's gonna say, hey, this has just happened. And it became very clear in that notification exactly what you should be looking for. So that's really great. And I really bring that up to bring up the fact that when I'm using the camera, for example, it basically gives me like an outline of the person that I see. So it has that person detection. Only when people go by does it notify me directly. Now let's get into the fun part. Now I did some app integration, of course, with my Abode Home Security system, and I had to do it with, of course, Amazon. I got that nice Echo Show that swings around and lets me see what's going on. It's maybe my favorite gimmick out there for any device. So if you see here, I say hi to my Amazon device. Don't want to set yours off, and I ask it to show me my Abode Cam 2, and boom, there it is. You can see me watching the Abode Cam 2. You have a number of different automations that Abode wants to do with you. I mean, they make a big deal out of it. So definitely something to keep up with if you're a bit of a nerd when it comes to home automations. Or let me just say, you're not a nerd. Let's just say you're someone who wants to be very, very safe. So maybe that's really what it is. All right, so let me go ahead and just give a quick demonstration. If I wanted to turn on these devices, I can hit home. Now I've started to actually set the alarm. I'm gonna hit cancel. And voila, it lets me know what's going on. It says, hey, you've just done this. I can also set it to away. So really easy, straightforward way of just setting your system with your phone. You don't have to go to the keypad, don't have to do anything else. You can just very quickly set your system up to home and away. And let's move through the rest of these elements. So you can see my living room. You got, a lot of things out there right now, about to go on a trip. And you can see, even other home security system pieces, but it's a pretty nice look. And what's great is that I can immediately tap directly in, find that stream, and you can see a bunch of different videos that have been captured here. This is just from today. So you can see a number of different elements here. It's pretty solid. They've also made it recently possible for you to zoom in on videos. So that was something that, they had heard people wanted to have available to them. And it's really great that Abode actually allowed for that to be a thing. So you always want people to allow for you to do stuff like I can zoom in on different spots. And literally 2 weeks ago, that's not something that one could do with Abode. So you can see even my Abode home system over in this corner. So really happy with that. And you also have, of course, have the ability to hit that talk button, talk to people. You can hear the sound from the room. You can take pictures. You can record video. All of that is just at the bottom of the mobile application. So really happy that that works really well, straightforward. That can often be an issue. Now, as I briefly alluded to, you can see the fact that we have all these different videos, me doing different things, wearing different clothes. My wife, my cousins, all these different people coming in and out of this room. And you love that it's really easy to see things in a timeline. Now, beyond the Abode Cam, of course, there's so many other pieces to a system. For example, you'll note there at the top, I'm in standby mode. I can go to home, I can go to away. And now these are just another way of doing this beyond the keypad. Now, if I decide to go look at my complete timeline, you look at the bottom, I can go to timeline and it's going to give me all my doors opening and closing. So this is basically us coming back from a Southern restaurant, coming in and out. I can just see all my different devices, my doors opening and closing. I can see the video capture happening. So I can go back to Thursday, see all these same pieces. Here we are, Thursday. I can go to Wednesday, see, when I was in and out of the house. So they make it really easy to go through and see what happens around your place. Now, I would like to also point out that you can do the same thing for the number of cameras that you have available. Now, to the right of the timeline, you'll see devices, and I've got a few different devices set up. You'll see I've got basically a motion sensor. I have the key fob. I have my cam. And then I also have just a couple of doors and windows all set up. So, the great part about Abode is that flexibility. Now, if I go into settings, you'll see that I can add device, remove device, see the mobile devices all together, location assistant. You have various integrations. So you'll see that I've got Amazon Alexa connected. I've got my IFTTT connected, and I've got Google Assistant connected. Now, I no longer have Bose or Sonos speakers. I have pretty much moved directly over to all of the HomePod devices in this moment. And we just here in the house, we don't have anything of that nature anymore. We also no longer have an Ecobee, but I'd be anxious to see how those things integrate. Now, I've not had any issues with Amazon Alexa, Google, or IFTTT, but I do have to point out that I have had a lot of trouble connecting HomeKit to the Abode system. And I'd also like to point out that I don't seem to be the only one. I tried over the course of a few weeks to connect the HomeKit to my Abode system, and it appears that other folks on the internet are having the same issues. So that's something I definitely wanted to point out, and I hope that's something that's fixed soon because I am pretty invested in the Apple HomeKit system. Of course, that's also true for Alexa and Google. That's just the nature of the job. But I always like to see things work with HomeKit because, frankly, a lot of things don't work with HomeKit. So definitely one of the harder things to find different automations for and different devices that will integrate with that smart system. Now, to the right of that, you have, of course, a number of different Q automations that speaks more to the different types of devices and the flexibility you get with the Abode system. All right, so that's my look at the mobile application for Abode Home Security. My final thoughts on the Abode is that, for a nerd like me, this is kind of a dream come true in the sense that I can spend the next year or 2 years just kind of building out this system with all the automations for all the ridiculous things that are in my home that, the person I share my home with probably doesn't really want me to have. Now, that's just the truth. I mean, it's a lot of fun in that sense. Now, when it comes to simplicity, it's great. It is simple and it's amplified throughout the house. I mean, who doesn't want simplicity amplified? I mean, it's really straightforward, really easy, and I really appreciate it. And I also have to point out that I'm kind of heartened by a recent release they put out. They literally said, and I quote, they have a continued commitment to making video on Abode the best in the industry. And I think that's really great to hear because right now it's not the best video in the industry, but I'm anxious to see what they keep putting out, how they keep adding to what they've already done with the Abode Cam 2, which definitely works well and is pretty awesome for how small and how affordable it is. So those are my thoughts on the Abode Home Security System. All right, so thanks. You made it to the end of our look at the Abode Home Security System. Now, if you appreciated today's video, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, Security.org, where we're dropping the newest in digital and home security, Abode included. And we would love just for you to drop a comment, give us a like, just tell us what you think. My name is Gabe. This is Security.org. Be secure.